Hey everybody, it's Justice for Comics. Wanted to shoot this video to highlight that controversy regarding Bill Maher. CBR has this article. I think it's perfect. Peter David, who I know him from writing several titles, Incredible Hulk back in the day, X Factor. Those were books that I collected and read a lot. So, I'm kind of a fan of Peter David. I definitely enjoy his writing. And man, he posted this on his Twitter, and it's the perfect response to this controversy about Bill Maher. First of all, he basically says, "Hey, Bill Maher, you're a minority share owner of the Mets." I guess he bought some shares of the Mets back in 2012, and he said, "Hey, isn't that a game involving balls that we used to play with as a child, as children?" So I totally agree. Sports, I mean, if you think comic books are purely juvenile, then you have to say that about sports, right? I mean, we all played sports as children. I remember playing baseball on the street with a bunch of my friends, playing football in the street, and, you could sit there and say, hey, it's a juvenile activity. So you're saying comic books are a juvenile activity, then so is sports. And obviously he's not going out disparaging the sports fan or saying, hey, all you people that are into these teams, you're all juvenile delinquents. He's not going out claiming that. So I think that's a great analogy, tying sports to comic books, that you could sit there, and if you're going to claim comic books are juvenile, then you also have to say sports is a juvenile activity. So I go down a little further, and then he even talks about the importance that comic books aren't literature. And this is another thing that Peter David does a great job of highlighting. He basically says, so if you're saying that it isn't literature, well then how about, where's the paragraph here? Let me pull this up here. Yeah, works like V from Vendetta or From Hell, 300, Sin City, these were all works that won critical acclaim. Watchmen won a Hugo. Sandman won the Bram Stoker Award. Moss won a Pulitzer. And then he says, how many Pulitzers do you have on your shelf, Bill? So I thought this was very good points. I'd love to see this Twitter response get some heat or get some attention in the public, on the news and things like that. I think that would be great, because it's really a perfect response to Bill Maher's comments. So I just thought I would highlight that. I thought it was worth reading. So check out CBR, or if you're on Twitter, check out Peter David's Twitter feed. He's got it posted. He just posted it on Saturday, so it's a pretty recent post. And I like at the end that he also basically says, he also gets pissed off at fans. So he's not advocating that you shouldn't get upset at certain fans sometimes, but to say that the genre of comic books is infantile, things like that, I like how he says it here, factually wrong, demonstrably inaccurate, and incredibly unfair. So he says his words come from ignorance, and I wish to God he would do anything to educate himself. So that was a perfect response. Couldn't be any better than that. So I thought I'd highlight that. Also, just got in the mail today, my good friend Jim's Comics sent me a beautiful copy of Harley Quinn 57, the Tedesco cover. I did miss getting that at the shop and didn't order it, so I'm glad, I was able to get that from him. I traded a book with him. So thank you, Jim's Comics, for the beautiful book. I love it. And that's all I had, guys. I'll post another video on Friday highlighting the top 10 list from Comic Book Invest, CBSI. So look for that video tomorrow. Thanks.